What's
Yeah,
what do you think's next then for America? What's next? Are we are we gonna what's next? How is this? Because it's we're
I
heading for calamitous times, aren't we? You
we
think?
are, and there's a couple of bills that are moving through our Congress and your Parliament or the EU, and on the EU side it's ACTA too.
Nothing to do with us now, then, mate. Brexit.
Oh, that's right, Brexit.
I
That's
voted
right, that's
Remain.
right. But yeah, ACTA two, and here we've got the Earn It or Earn IT Act, and it's basically criminalizing encryption, ending encryption as we know it.
So this is
Uh,
Apple. This is to get around the people like Apple who wouldn't give their encryption stuff away, or
well,
Telegram, or any of these people.
I believe Apple has since backed down from that, um, and they are allowing backdoor encryption into their products. It's one of the reasons why you shouldn't use Safari as your browser. Um, but I
Other
mean,
than it's shit.
yeah, yeah. Sean O'Brien talks about this all the time. Apple products are designed to be surveillance devices, and an iPhone is significantly more uh, government friendly, agency friendly than an Android. On an Android, I can strip all of the Google software from it, and I can put a different operating system on it, and
Right.
I can go through F-Droid instead of the Google Play Store to get apps, and so I've done that. I did that before we went to DC for the first time. But in terms of what's next, it is going to, I believe it's going to get messier than it has been, and I think that with the announcement of like just a metric ton of new coronavirus cases. They already in California, 7 counties have been ordered or shutting down bars again, shutting down
Yeah,
restaurants.
I heard 16 states are thinking about shutting down or have done. Another 16 that were open. That
And
took.
and while saying you can go protest.
I
So
know.
if we can go protest, then is it really, if we've got permission to do it, is it really a protest or is it a parade? And if it's
I
a parade,
what's the point?
does it have meaning? If it's a parade, does it have
Um,
value? Like
you
it's
need.
got,
This is why I don't think it's going to come from. I don't think the change. I don't think what's going to happen next is the people in America are going to suddenly change anything. I think that something's going to happen. I mean, let's face it. If they're just printing money hand over fist that isn't based on anything, you're flirting with the fact that every. I mean, fiat money historically ends up going away. In history, it's happened every time apparently, and
yeah,
when it does, there's usually. I read David Graeber's book, Debt: The First 5,000 Years. I suggest you get it, mate. It's wonderful if you haven't
all
seen
right.
it. And he talks about how you know whenever whenever we get to the situation like we're in now, where there's massive wealth distribution, massive gaps in wealth, etc., and that gap is widening to Pharaoh levels as it is at the moment. Whenever in history it happens, what you end up with is hyperinflation of the currency, especially when it's not backed in anything, which is a bit of a problem at the moment with the dollar. And then hyperinflation. So a loaf of bread. You saw it in Venezuela. It happened recently in Venezuela. The loaf of bread all of a sudden, was 1,500 whatever pounds or whatever it was in their currency, but you could buy it with $1 still for $1, but in their currency it went higher. What if this happens with the dollar? And surely this is what you're heading towards if you just keep printing money like this.
Oh, there's no doubt. Um,
I mean, the rich bit, the top 0.1%, they'll be fine. If you get hyperinflation, they've still got enough money to have a cushion here. But
yeah, but
what about the people in the streets?
um, there's a horrible, and it may not even be on YouTube anymore. But there was it, some animators that did like the most fucked up Charlie Brown stories on the planet. Um, and one of them was it's motherfucking Ramadan, Charlie Brown. Look, what it'll make you throw up in your mouth a little bit, maybe.
I'll probably
But
find it funny. I've got a really weird sense of humour, mate.
well, yeah, it's funny as fuck, but you still might be like, you know, it's
Yeah, I get you. I get it.
yeah.
I like South
Uh,
Park, mate, and Rick
but
and Morty.
one of the characters says, Charlie Brown, you is well fucked and far from home. And I think that we're going to find ourselves well fucked and far from home. And you know, it's going to, when the predator class is telling you that you can't gather at a pub or a restaurant, but you can go out and tear down statues or protest, the protests at that point become performative.
Yeah, the protests become exactly what they want you to do.
And I think unless there's a reckoning, on the people who just found out that Karen is a term for entitled white women like 2 weeks ago, and are using it as a division tactic, as a slur, and in order to other somebody. I think until those people realize that they're being played,
Yeah.
then we're going to continue to be well fucked and far from home. People will still be spending every hyperinflated dollar that they have on stuff instead of, let's learn how to become as self-sufficient as possible, or as food secure as possible. Um, so I mean, we've again, why
Let's
is it
make sure our water source is clear and
yeah.
clean.
Oh, that's already that's done.
Yeah, I mean, it's just basics, though, isn't it? It's basics that they're not being given. They're being given these basics in Beverly Hills, mate. In Beverly Hills, their water runs crystal clear. I'm fucking assuming, but not in Flint.
What they get in Beverly Hills is I think it's all of the snow melt from Lake Tahoe. I think uh that's what goes down to LA. I'm not 100% on that.
Yeah,
Um
in Beverly Hills, what they get is that guy from Frozen carving ice with his reindeer from the North Pole and shipping it in on his sleigh. That's what they get from Beverly Hills for
uh, and they're
water.
uncomfortable as fuck because people have been in their neighborhood. There was a group of, I want to say, 150 or 200 people that were marching through Beverly Hills the other day screaming, "Eat the rich."
They'd be tasty. They eat
You
frog
know,
raw and free range and organic. They'd be lovely.
I feel like you should compost the rich rather than eat them, because that way they'll actually be forced to give back something to the
Yeah.
people. I'm an advocate of composting the rich.
Composting. Maybe then you could actually feed life instead of destroying it, you
Yeah, and
assholes.
think
I
about how
like
much
that. I like your way
plastic
of
is in
thinking,
these.
mate.
Think about how much plastic is in the bodies of your average rich person. That can't be healthy for your digestive system.
Nah.
It can't. I mean, we started off talking about health, and I think that, eating the rich in the long run would have some negative health effects. I do. So compost these guys, because, then they'll actually be able to get back.
I'm with you, mate.